We were just talking about South Carolina being in the mix there, and that they have a nice future in that quarterback room. But they picked up a really good one in the backfield yesterday, as former Utah State running back Rahsul Faison is headed to play for the Gamecocks. And this is a guy who had some big-time interest, had also visited Alabama and Florida State, had a big year for Utah State last year, has a crazy path to get to where he is today, as he was at Lackawanna Junior College, was at Marshall, Snow College, then at Utah State, had over 1,000 yards last year, 5.6 yards a carry, and big games against good opponents, Utah, USC, and Boise State, averaged 5.1 yards a carry on 54 carries and scored a couple touchdowns. So this is a guy who looks the part. I mean, you see physically he's strong, and he runs with authority. So I think you always try to project guys, and it's tough when they're taking a jump up in competition from where he was to the SEC. But I think he's built for it.
Yeah, 5'11", 200. He looks that on film. You mentioned the performance against Utah, USC, Boise State. Looked the part there. Spoke to a source who was at Utah State, been around big-time football, and he loves this kid. Says he's a slasher, good top-end speed, long strider, great in the open field. Won't look out of place physically in the SEC. And he said, look, he can play in the SEC, no problem. Was very quick to say that. And this is someone, again, he was around him at Utah State, but he's familiar with a big-time college football. Look at the player. He's originally from Pottstown, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia area, number 4 running back in the portal. Also visited Alabama, FSU, North Carolina. So 3 big NIL schools there. South Carolina ends up getting the win. And, South Carolina's team's going to get a lot of preseason buzz because of what Lenore Sellers has done, because you have Dylan Stewart, potentially the best defensive player in the country next year. So the team is on the up and up. But when you look at the running back room, I don't think it's, there's a solid starter there on paper. You look at Oscar Attaway, who's the leading returning rusher, 295 yards, not a ton, and only 3.8 yards per carry, which South Carolina, with the goals they have, they're going to want more from that room. It could come from Attaway. That doesn't mean that 3.8 yards is what he is, but you need to get that number up. You need to be more explosive to be a key part of this offense if your goals are what they are. You have Jawarren Howell, Matthew Fuller returning, but again, no one that's really done it yet. So a guy like Faison, he can come right in and compete for the job. Doesn't matter if he's coming from Utah State. I think he's going to get a chance. When you look at the production he had last year as a 1,000-yard back, you look at the physical tools, you look at the performance in big games. He's gonna take a shot. And if you're the running back with Lenore Sellers at quarterback, you're feeling pretty good because teams are going to be so focused on what he can do. It opens you up as well.
Good patience, man, on some of those runs from the angle from behind from behind center. Michael Sears, man, appreciate the support. Guys, remember to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel here as we keep it moving here on Group Chat Live, Group Chat Football Live. But big get here for South Carolina as they continue to add to the talent on the offensive side of the ball there.
No question. And look, if you're going to get a guy, if you're an SEC school and you're going to G5 to get somebody, you want production and you want traits, right? This guy's got production at that level, and he's got some traits. I don't see superstar track speed or anything like that, but the guy can run. He's big. He's fluid. It makes sense. Now get him in camp. We'll see in spring what he can do.